Here it is.
Right.
I took a 5-minute break because
Okay.
I was trying to.
Are you back to work?
Yes, I am.
Is it recording?
Yes.
Okay. So, can I talk to you about getting ready to? Oh no, Golden. Getting ready to practice.
Okay.
So, did you do a warm up?
I did my scale and Stradic.
Okay. And you clipped your nails?
Yeah.
Okay. So another thing you can do in your warm-up is you can organize what you're going to do. So you have a lot of time today, and I'd really like you to do a little bit extra since tomorrow we're not going to do anything. So in the first half, which I want you to do this morning, and the later you can do more. Okay, make sure that you do all your yawning in your warm-up. Okay, so I want you to get organized. So, do you know what you're going to do in your practice today? What?
I started out with my scale, and then I did some Stradic. I'm going to do Sefchik, though.
So you're going to do Sefchik, and then what color are you going to do for your accolade?
I'm going to do either, I'm going to do 2 colors and 2. I don't have it. I didn't really have it with me, but I know that.
You don't have it with you?
Wait, no, I do have it. I'm going to do orange.
Can I see
blue.
that?
I have to do orange, blue, and
I thought we do one a day. Okay, we're going to do orange first. Orange and then blue. Okay, where's the orange page?
well, I'm not done. Okay, it's.
Where is it? This?
That's a warm up for the orange.
Okay, so. Okay, get your violin. And tell me, what are you going to focus on in the warm-up? Why did she write this warm-up for you? It says tuning measure 145. And it says extended and regular. Listen to the E's and C's. Extend for E and then make a C in tune. Okay? So that sounds like a good thing to do. Can you tell me what you play with your E's with? Are they opens or 4s or 2s, or what are your E's here mostly?
I don't. The E's?
She said listen to the E's and C's. So what E's and C's is she talking about on that piece of paper?
This is.
Which one?
This.
Okay. So, oh my gosh, that's tiny. So the E is played with what finger?
Extended 3.
Extended 3? Ah! And a first finger. Okay, so let me hear you play your E with your 3rd finger. Okay, can I just hear your 3rd finger E? Okay, let me hear your open E and then your 3rd finger. Okay? And then you're going to go from your E
C.
to a C. And what finger are you going to play the C with?
The first finger.
Okay, let's hear a first finger C. Excuse me, can I play it on the piano so you can hear it first? Okay, now as a challenge, play me an E and a C in first position. Ooh, that's crummy, isn't it? That's train tracks. What did he call that? Didn't he call that a tritone? Woohoo, aren't you fancy? Okay, don't play your tritone on your fingerboard. Okay, so now let's see if you can play it low. Now go back up high. So could I very slowly hear you play here? Now wait a minute. This is tricky. This is not what we just warmed up with. What is happening here? What is that note?
It's a G sharp, E,
okay.
G sharp, B, G sharp, B, D.
So it's a G sharp E. Yeah. So this is a lot of E work, isn't it? Let's hear the G sharp. Okay, and since you're going to do this whole orange section really nicely and slowly before you really warm it up, why don't you do a double check before you play it to see if you've got some of your things all put together, like your violin is nicely placed, your fingers are hovering, and you go down in the sweet spot. See if you can get all those things ready for your G sharp, E, G sharp. Okay, and why don't you now move on by yourself and play it from here to here slowly, and then play it from here to here at the tempo that you're going to play it in the piece, and then move on to whatever else you're going to do, okay? Great. And I want to say one thing. Just remember that it's easier to go up the violin than it is to go down. So when you go down in your slides and your shifts, make sure you keep your hand all together in its frame, okay? Don't get stiff, but just make sure you're sliding back and forth, just like I don't know what, like a roller coaster, something. Okay, but it looked great. It sounded great. Let's hear it one more time. Oh, I made some chicken. Francisco's popping it up.
of the power banks.
I couldn't find it. Shall we bring this one? Where is it?
The big one we used for the power outage.
I don't know, where is it?
I don't know. I gave it back to you.
Why did you open the apple juice when we have fresh squeezed orange juice that won't be good when we get back? Some change.
This is way better.
Okay, we'll try to drink that, please, this afternoon, okay?
It has organic all over it. I'm sure you have some.
Like the orange juice or the apple juice?
Okay. I'm going to start from the thing.
Oh, so where's the orange part in the piece? The orange page?
I don't know where you put it.
Huh?
Where did you put the thingy? Oh, it's right here. So the orange part
This
is.
is only 64 ounces. I took 32 the thing yesterday.
Right.
The orange section, don't go faster than you. 118 to 152. So 118.
So Ella, I thought that was really pretty good in tune. Did you?
Yeah.
Okay. So Is that the orange section? Or what section is that, honey?
It's the orange one.
Oh, well, I thought it was. I was just double checking. Okay. So, what do you think this section needs? And where does the section start? Here?
No.
Over here?
No.
Oh, then the other page. Okay. What do you think it needs? Is it pretty well in tune now? Well, why don't you play me this part here from there to there, and let me see if I can hear anything. Good. Now, how did you like it? Okay, so let me tell you something. I don't want you to practice if you're going to go. Because I don't really think that it's very useful. If you don't like me coming over, you can tell me that. And I'll say, oh, okay, I understand. But I can tell you that the way your violin sounds is pretty much the way you look. So if you look like this, that's what you're going to sound like, pretty much. And if you're happy, if that's exactly how you want to play it at Eugene's recital, then please don't practice it ever again. Just keep it in your repertoire and play it like that. But if you think that you can make this line sound better, then let's do it. Okay? Because I think you could put more zing in your zang. Or more zazz in your pizzazz. I see a big crescendo and a fade out. So why don't you see if you can play a big crescendo and a fade out here? Okay? Good. I liked that much better, did you?
Yeah.
Okay. So now let's hear this next section and see if you have enough zazz in your pizzazz. Okay. Now, this here is almost the same as this, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
But the composer does something different at the end, doesn't he? He says, I'm going to fade out, but ha ha ha, I tricked you. Instead of fading out to a G sharp, I'm going to fade out to what?
A C.
A nice, bright C. Is that a C?
Yes.
Okay. A nice, bright and chipper C. Okay. I'm going to come back to my minor key. But then I'm going to build with some arpeggio work, I guess. Different arpeggio work. Okay. And I'm going to start here and I'm going to build it. And then I'm going to build it. I'm going to build it. I'm going to build it. I'm going to build it till I get to the tippy top of the mountain or the rainbow. And I'm going to be up here and then I'm going to come down. So, can you figure out whether this is up bow or down bow? this F, or this D?
It's a down bow.
Okay. All right. Then I'm going to put a little down bow there. And I'm going to ask you to start there. And it says underneath here, what? Largo y retard. So it means that you're going to do something here. You're going to, I don't know exactly what that means. Maybe we should look it up. I guess I do know what it means. But why don't you start here and see if you can build a mountain. Well, play it from here to this really big double forte. And while you're playing it, I want you to think about what kind of sound you would like to make if you were Itzy Perlman. If you were like 37 years old, what would you make this sound like? I like that much better. But let's make sure that you're not on a trapeze here going, yeah, da, 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 da.
I did 7.
Okay, so why don't you do this down bow, this one, this one, this one, this one. Do you know what I mean? Just play me that. You can do that better than that. Okay, so on those notes, what's going on is that your bow is sliding all over the place. So give me your violin and put some rosin on your bow straight away as your first line of attack. And while you're putting it on, look at the music and pretend you're doing ya da 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 da. And see if you can keep your bow from sliding on your rosin. See how that trick works. See if Ella could figure out how not to slide around on the rosin without a groove. That's pretty tricky stuff. Now start here on your rosin and play me till the end. What are you doing to not slide on your rosin? Do you know? What is making it so that you're not sliding? What are you doing with your hand? Okay. All right, let's have you play these half note, eighth note combos for me. And the first one is what? F, D, E, and the next one is A, G sharp, right?
It's D, C.
D, C, A, G sharp,
C, B.
Okay, let's hear them like that.
D, C sharp.
Yeah. No, I don't want to hear this part. I just want you to go circle around. Yeah, da, circle and... Isn't that a different rhythm here? Yeah. Okay. Now, I want you to play me those again. And this time I want you to do something really interesting with the sound so that I can tell that it is going up a mountain to the highest, loudest one. And circle around and keep your shoulder down when you circle back to your down bow. It's a half step, right? Isn't it? Is it a half step? What is that note? Is that a half step? What are the... I don't know.
Double step.
Okay. And this has a different rhythm, right? This is 1, 2, da, and this is 1 and 2 and 3, and this is 1 and 2 and, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so good job. Let's hear it one more time, and I want to hear it build. So let's make this one a faded out one, this one a bit stronger, a bit stronger, a bit stronger, and your mommy's telling you, come on, or something. Or the bell rings at school, get off the fingerboard, even if that makes the best sound. No, I don't want to hear the middle part. I just want... Louder! Loud! Okay, now make sure this has a different rhythm. Do it again. So, can you do 1 and 2 and da? 1, and then on this one do 1 and da. Let's hear the rhythms, okay? 1 and 2 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3. Good. 1 and 2 and 3. Louder. I got mixed up where you were. Is that this one? Okay, so maybe we should do the put the metronome on for those. Can we? So what is the speed for these? 1, 1, 1 and 2 and 3. 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 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and. Right? That's a different rhythm, isn't it? Okay, so let's try it again. You can start at this one. Wait. What note is it?
D.
1 and 2 and 3. Good for you. Now, see if you can get through the whole thing. Do you want to try playing a little bit of it with this part too, or not?
Yeah.
Okay. So I remember when you were taking lessons from Danielle that we did a lot of talking about how fantastic it was to make a mistake. And now it looks like you forgot about that. I learned a lot from that mistake. I learned that this tempo is too fast for the 16th notes. And I wouldn't have known that if you hadn't made a mistake. Did you know it was too fast?
I don't know.
Okay, well, you know, Ella, I'm not cool with you just crying because it didn't work out the way you wanted it to. Try again. Let's move on. Crying is a waste of time, and you've just wasted a bunch of time. Start here. Da 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 da. Sing it first. La da 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 da. I don't know. It's too fast, isn't it?
Yes.
1 E and a 2 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a. Or I thought this was for 1 and 2 and 1 E and a 2 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and 4 and 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a. Okay, this is tricky to do with a metronome because these are not eighth notes, these are 16th notes. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a. Okay, we have to write this out to get it right.
1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and 4 and.
Okay, so that was good. I think you're better at it than me. You want to try playing it, or is it just too fast? 1 E and a. Okay, and that might also be a Marcia measure, right? If we don't understand it. It's okay not to understand it. Even if Marcia knows how to do it perfectly, doesn't mean she's perfect. All right, so let's count this one out.
1 E and a.
1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. How about just playing that? What note is it, please?
F.
Okay, didn't we have that thing where we knew the ledger lines? It was
A, C,
Kathy.
E, A, C, E. Wait, A,
C, E, G. Is that a G?
yeah, it's a G.
Okay. Well, why don't you write a little happy little G up here? And then you can always check that note with your open G or another G. Okay, so I'd like for you not to play it as perfectly as you can, and really this time make sure that you're more ready for that flat. You still got it in there, but let's see if you could be more ready for it. You know what was funny about that one? You shifted down better than you shifted up, and you usually shift better up than you shift down. Maybe making mistakes and crying is good for your shifting. You should do that more often. Try it again one more time, and let's see if you can really make this musical and see if you can picture a skier going down the hill and meeting a surprise animal right around there. Okay, what did you find behind the tree on your way down the mountain?
I don't.
Ya-da-da-da, I found a little bunny going around the tree, whatever. So why don't you start here, which is on what note?
D.
Excuse me?
D.
Thank you. let's do this measure again. This one's tricky. Okay, well, I think it's going a bit fast, but let's try it. Let's just try those 4 notes. Okay, can you make it sing a little more on the... Can you make it sing a little more on the D? Yeah. Vibrato. Good. Good. Now, how can you make this A a pretty note? It's hard to make an open string note pretty. So, see what you can do to make it prettier. Maybe softer, soften it up a little bit. Make this note prettier and this note prettier. And just say, oh, you darn A, you're never going to be pretty. Okay, let's hear this. Yeah, da, da. Right, so this one's too big. Make these bigger than that. And don't look at the music. The A is too big.
Okay.
So I know you understand, and I know you're trying. So try again. Can I try? What are the notes? I think what I might do is lean a bit. What fingers do you use for them?
4.
4 what?
3.
And then open A?
Yes.
Okay, why don't you bow it for me and see if you can make it good. You're too close to that. Get away from that. Well, that's not my fault. Ow! Ouch! Ouch! Okay, my turn. I get to bow it.
No.
Yeah. My turn.
No.
Okay, I'm gonna be light as a feather.
No.
Okay. Do I go up bow on that? Eh? I think you just have to soften it and maybe lean into it a little bit. Maybe just lean. Just be a little friendlier. Okay, try it. Yada. Okay, don't be friends with that A. Don't be friends with it. Make it even smaller.
Oh, you said to be
I said lean in, but lean in and just tap it. Don't. Let's stay on the string. That was better, but you can't be too light. It was better. It was way better. Oh, don't go all the way to the tip, maybe. Watch your bow. Okay, I think the bowing distribution has to be. Let me try. My turn. Up. I'm gonna see if I can make my A really good. Here we go. Look at my bent thumb. My pinky's in the wrong spot. Okay, what? Stand up. But you're too short. Come on. Stand on the balance beam so I don't have to hurt my back, man. I'm gonna get a backache.
Also, I don't.
Get up there. Get up there.
I can.
Don't fall, okay? Now let me go. No, right there. That looks good. Okay, now you're in the right place. Okay, good. Well, how come I hit my A right here and you're hitting it way up there? Can we compromise? Let's hit the A right here, okay? Come on. Try it. Okay, it was still a little loud, but it was much better. And make the note after the A. Make the A with your first finger more vibrato-y, you know. Ya da 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 da. Ya. Okay, so I want the accent more on these notes than this A, but that was very good. Okay? So let's start here, and same thing. This bow is still too long for you, so don't get to the tip every time. Use more of the frog and less of the tip. Much better. I think if I were to ask you to do one more thing, I think it sounds crazy, but I think your bow needs to stay moving and it needs to be a tiny bit heavier. You need to be a little more on the string. Okay, so let me show you what I mean. Okay, you bow for me. You put your hand here on my hand. Am I on the string? I'm asking you, am I on the string?
I don't know, I can't.
Okay, now I'm going to do it and I'm going to, okay, keep your hand there. Can you hear how much better it is? And when you're not on the string, you can slide more. So that's another way of saying don't slide around. But it means that the arm weight is what's missing. Keep it smooth, keep your bow moving, and keep your arm heavy. All the way from here. There's no weight in your arm. Let go of your arm. Come on, give me it, give me it, give me it. It's mine. Now you're holding it up to your ear. You cannot have pierced arms. Okay? What? Get some weight in your arm. And now when you go over to that string, how can you keep the weight and still be over the... Don't push, just blow. See, the more you can keep your bow fluid and moving, the harder it is for you to slide around. So keep it moving. That's another way of saying don't slide. Can I hear it one more time?
Okay.
Actually, can I hear the warm-up one time? And then I want to hear the whole orange section. I want to hear the orange section warm-up and then the whole orange section. I'm going to take a picture of that position and I'm going to send it to Eugene. Okay, let's hear the orange section without music. And with your bow moving the whole time. And pretend that Eugene is watching you, and then you're going to record the orange section. Okay? Good. Louder. Okay, so I want you to get your phone and I want you to record that section, not the warm-up. And then you can send it to Eugene later. But just go record it right now. And when you're done with that, you can take a break and place it. We'll come back to it later. Okay?
Do I pause the video?
Yes.